Hey guys, I'm back. Alright, so I went to my finished character and found out a little something. I went in to purchase some more quick hacks, and come to find out there are certain quick hacks I can't use. Not sure as to why, but what I found out though is I'm missing some quick hacks. As you can see, for 2.0, 2.0 has brought in what they call now the tier system, versus they were epic and legendary. Epic being the purple, which I guess would be tier 4, and legendary being your tier 5. So I have these, and I thought, okay, this looks okay, but it still looks wrong. You know, because if I know myself and I'm maxed out, I would have had legendary everything. So this looks wrong to begin with. Then I went to the Netrunner specialist. Went to go see if I can get the tier 5, as it were. And they do have them, however, you buy them and they disappear. So in our new playthrough, I'm wondering if I get to a certain level and I max it out, and maybe I have to change this out as well for my other ones, or I have to buy the new ones. Like maybe all the old ones don't work as well. Maybe these are revamped, because I went in here and I didn't have any. Like I said, I don't have any. This is it. This is all the quick hacks I have, which doesn't make sense. It has taken out the two of the biggest ones, which would be the suicide and the cyberpsychosis, which would have fit here, but they don't anymore. So 2.0 has revamped everything. If you're coming back in and you're wondering, hey, let me get that same build, be careful. Okay, so in this bonus video, I'm gonna just kind of cover real quick. Now, if you load into an older character and you haven't played since before they've done the 2.0 update, you're gonna notice when you jump in here, all your perk points are now back. You can re-put them in because you have to. They have made it. They've made a lot of changes, significant changes. But not only that, you get a reset attributes, and I want to say maybe if you finish off a brand new character after the 2.0 update, that you get this as well. But you can only use it once. If you hit no, it's still there. It's just waiting to be used if you want to. So which I'm going to have to do that on this character. But nevertheless, they've totally done an overhaul, and it's not just an overhaul. They didn't just make it look better. They've changed quite a bit. So for example, actually better yet, something I know better about, blades. I can understand why this one, I don't recall this being there. I think I remember the image, but finisher, you get a finisher move. Before, this wasn't really a thing. Like, yeah, sure, the 15% stamina cost, the plus 20% attack speed, okay, sure. But then level 3 unlocks a blade finisher, so I unlock a cinematic. I unlock a cinematic with range. Now, it might just be me, you know. I'm more prone to if they're staggered, whatever. Their enemies are, they're not paying attention. They're distracted by whatever's happening. You can perform the cinematic. I call it a cinematic because it's essentially what it is. Back before 2.0, you had the Mantis blades, and you would do that move, but you'd have both blades go in, and you'd lift up the character, you'd lift up the NPC. You know, so it's wildly different. Which again, the first two levels are fine. The last one, I mean, sure, okay. I mean, I guess because now instead of having, it's like a special attack. Let's call it that. But you know, this is cool as well. I don't believe you used to be able to deflect bullets. I think certain things, but now you can deflect. And then you can deflect and you can aim it towards certain characters. As long as your stamina, of course, is above 30%. So everything has its, you know, its give and take. Like, you can do this, but you need to make this as well. Okay. So they've redone this. This is fine. But if you notice, though, if we go over here, you know, only affects assault rifles, SMGs. Okay. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, I'm missing out. No, you're getting your bang for your buck. This is pretty good. Aerodynamic. We'll go into body because some of what I just said would make sense. So in other words, this over here only affects shotguns. Okay, well I don't need that. I'm good here. Like I would say, max out body. If anything, take more damage. You get an extra perk. You also get a some additional effects if you have a certain piece of cyberware attached. Over here, only affects blunt weapons. Okay, well I'm not too worried about that. You know, so I'm fine. If I get body, which I do on my current character that I'm working on, right on the walkthrough, I have body, so I'm going to max out this all the way to 20. No problem. Intelligence. Am I force user character? Absolutely. On this character, no. Didn't make sense to me, but I don't know where all of a sudden to get the, let's call them the missing quick hacks. Because if you go into your old characters, I don't think they're going to be there anymore. And not only that, this says tier 5, right? And yet it has me at tier 4. So it's a wild time. I'm not understanding what's going on, but hopefully with the new playthrough, everything will come through and make sense. So again, I'm missing a lot of tier 4s. We got a lot of tier 3s. Have some tier 2s and then tier 1s, which okay. But I'm missing a lot of the major hitters. They took away the major hitters, and I wonder if I have to go in and switch some of the stuff out. I wonder if I have to go in and say, hey, missing, you know, this here, missing this here, this is my cyberware here. Need this, I need that. Oh, okay, well, we switched out. You don't have that anymore. What? Yeah, I do. It's there in my inventory. Well, no, you don't. So I have these. Do I have to switch to these? To available form? Do I need my cyberware capacity? You know, this one's 20. Do I need this one? And what's the difference here? You know, do I need this one here? Plasma form quick hacks, because they're ultimate quick hacks. That's what they're called. You think I'd have them, but I don't. And these are all, so for some reason, they're qualifying as tier 4, and it says, do you want to upgrade? And I say, okay, yeah, let me do the upgrade. So it's okay, tier 5, but it's already tier 5. So it's a little, I'd say it's still a little wonky. And yeah, it's 2.0.2 if I'm not mistaken. You know, again, let's see, yeah, 2.02. I'm on console, so that's what it is for me. I think it's the same thing just overall in general. But it's a little wonky. If you're loading up an old character, not much of a... you're not at much of a... it seems like everything's messed up, but it's not. You could reapply and do whatever. And if you want to make the same build, I would say go for it. I would say make a separate save. Reset everything. Redo your attribute points, because you only get that once. Play the game a little bit. See if it'll unlock. See if you can find it. Right? That's what I would do. Because they're still in the game, except now they say you can't purchase them. But yet, here it is. But if I buy it, it's not going to be there. And yet, let's see. Where's it at? Or maybe I already bought it in this one. But yeah, they pretty much they didn't take it out. Even system collapse. Here it is right here. But yet if I buy it, it's not going to be there. So they did something. And also, if you notice, this cost 4 grand. This cost almost 80 grand. This cost almost 130 grand, just about. 200 and almost 220 grand. 80 grand. What is happening? So I think, you know, it's just this whole thing is wild. And not only that, okay, technical ability. So this is somewhat still the same, except you would need technical ability to craft. Well, if we go in here, nothing says craft. Crafting all of a sudden is no longer part of the game. You can craft tiers, but nothing in here. In other words, I guess as long as you have the components, you can craft. So that makes sense. But it kind of doesn't make sense because you kind of need the ability. Well, you know, I take that back. It does make sense because the old way, you would need a certain ability. So there was a sword, the Black Unicorn, I think it's what it's called. And it was a tier 1 weapon, but you could upgrade it. Well, I guess technically speaking now, it'd be called a tier 1 weapon, but back then it was an uncommon weapon, or I think a common weapon, and you can upgrade it all the way to a legendary weapon. So you went through legend, you went through, you know, rare, epic, and legendary, and you can upgrade it as such. Now it's in tiers, so right now I think it's like a tier 1, or I think it says a tier 1. But back then, you didn't. It wasn't. It was a unique, iconic weapon, but it could be upgraded into the legendary. Versus these, when you get this one, I think you get this one as an epic or a rare, and you have to upgrade it later through a different means. You had to have the perk to upgrade it. Whereas Black Unicorn, you didn't need to. And you didn't get the blueprint, which is another thing. That's no longer a thing anymore. So it's kind of throwing for a loop. Like, well, what do I do? What do I do now? You know, what am I supposed to? What am I supposed to do? So, is it now all the weapons act like that? Do you just need the components to craft them? Because it looked like it's all you needed. It looked like it's all you had to do. Which, I mean, again, makes sense. You'd come in here and you'd say, okay. Let me see if I can find it. Is it in here? It's not in here. But I'd say I want to craft this. I'd say I want to craft that. Breakthrough. I could, couldn't I? I really could. So they really give you the option to do that. Which ain't bad. Tier 2, Tier 3s, Tier 4s, and then Tier 5s. Which is very interesting. It's very, very interesting how they did that. You know, so you can craft regular stuff, whatever. But as long as you have the components. I don't see anything in here. I have nothing. Remember, in my character, I have no attributes. I have no perk points spent. So apparently you can craft them whenever. You just need the materials. Which is fine. Because it makes it a little bit easier to get the gear that you want to really give you that customizable, you know, give you that variety. And you can really just truly dive in to, you know, so technical, they made it better. If I'm going to be running more cyberware, will I get it? Probably not, because for this, the build I'm doing, the force user build, doesn't really need it. if I reset on this character and then go into Phantom Liberty, will it make sense? Yeah. For the build that I'm doing, yeah. Again, I'll have to read all into any of this, you know, because stealth probably is a little bit better. Probably a lot better. You know, sniping, and then, you know, technical ability, reflexes if I don't use a blade or anything like that. You know, if I'm not going to be heavy into that, maybe I'll go technical, cool, and body. You know, if I'm not really using intelligence, maybe I need to have this all the way up here just to be able to use it. Doesn't say I need to, but maybe I do. I don't know. But that's the beauty of it. This is the time to find out. They'll kind of restart. So in essence, by doing the 2.0 update, they really gave us a new game, if that's fair to say. Because yeah, the storyline, everything else is pretty much the same. Yeah, there's a DLC, you know, that's added, you know, adds more to it. Okay, cool, but they really gave us a new game because of this overhaul. And not only that, if you have a finished character, again, you get a chance to restart, redo it, the entire thing. That's just wild. They've changed out so much that it'll make you rethink your build and go, you know what, I want to do it this way. But it's also a bit of a thing. Again, it's also a bit of a gamble because in my walkthrough, we're going in intelligence. We're gonna max that out. We're gonna max out reflexes and max out body, for sure. And then we'll dip into one of these two, depending, right? Maybe technical, just so we can get the Renaissance Punk, right? Not really gonna go into Edge Runner. Don't really need to. But there's certain things that make me wonder, you know, is this gonna be a good one? Because yeah, I'm gonna use quick hacks, but do I get the quick hacks that I want? But because I'm starting from scratch on a new 2.0, nothing transitioning, you know, how do I get the upgrades? Is it dependent on levels? Is it dependent on you know, the attribute points? You know, if my intelligence is at 15, do I get access to certain cyberware? But the rest of these I don't get access yet until I meet the requirements. If I have 20, 20, 20, do I get everything that I need that is useful to me? Remains to be seen. But I can't wait, to be honest. Again, it's like a brand new game, just about. You know, you gotta solve the mystery of how do I make my character. Of course they're gonna be overpowered, but how do I get to that point? That's where we're at. That's what we're doing. So without further ado, guys, that's it for this bonus video. I wanted to make it just quick and short. So again, this is mostly for people who have returned and they have not played 2.0 and they're coming straight in from an older game save, or they're coming in brand new saying I'm going to start over, and they're looking at it and going, whoa, wait a minute, the build I had in mind before may not apply anymore. I would go into technical. I was only going into technical to craft, and I don't have to go into technical anymore to craft. But I do need to go into technical if I want to wear more cyberware and wear the high advanced stuff. Yeah, so it's yeah, it's a huge overhaul. You know, they weren't kidding. They weren't messing around. But kind of no warning. Kind of, hey, you know, you might have to rethink your stuff. Okay, you come in. Hey, this is more than just rethinking. This is a whole new. Like, it's weird to say, but it's a whole new character. You know. And you want to start from scratch, but the original idea, it's almost as if you have to play to what you think the character should be, and then after you're done that, you go, okay, level 50, I'm maxed out. This is not what I thought my character should be. Here's why I should fix it up. And then you go and revamp, and then you redo it and go, okay, here's the perfected version. Possibly. But I'm going to find out. So if you've been following along, we're doing our force user build on our other character. This character, again, is just one that I've maxed out in the past. But guys, thank you for watching. This is just a bonus video, just to kind of talk this out and kind of gain an understanding of it. We will be back with the next episode of our force user playthrough, continuing on, just leveling up and getting our character up there. We're gonna get close to level 10, and we're gonna see what changes there are. But until then, I will see you on the next one.